All right, fuck that up. Welcome to another week of Rain City Roar and the final episode of Rain City Roar for the season. I am Butler.
I'm Neil.
I'm Detroit Rick. What's up, fellas?
What a season. What a season did that end up being?
Hey, sorry, we had some. Look like we had some technical difficulties. Everybody get us now? It looks good. Looks good. Let's try that again.
Yeah, we're good.
Welcome to the last episode of Rain City Roar for the season. I'm Butler.
What a way to go. I'm Neil.
And 18th week and we're fucking it up. I'm Detroit Rick. What's up, baby?
It's got to be your stream, Detroit Rick. You're fucking us.
It's me?
Fucking us right in the butt.
Yep, I think it's him.
Hey, one thing,
outside.
guys, if you guys do want to come on, this is the last cast of the season, maybe forever. Who knows? Hey, Angela. So send your email to our Facebook chat and you can come on and chat with us live. We don't really have a show planned other than a little recap of the season. Wait for some more people to get on. I got a couple things to go over. Other than that, how was Seattle this weekend, boys, with the shipbirds causing?
It was as tolerable as you've ever seen Seattle.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, it was unreal. It was like being at a bar in Detroit. It really was. Everybody was cheering. Like it was uncomfortable almost.
Yeah,
I'll bet. I couldn't do it. I don't know if I could sit in the bar with those guys anymore, even if they are rooting for us. I mean, that makes it worse. I'd rather they not root for us. Personally, that's just me.
Nah, it was all right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
One thing I wanted, let's do our sponsors first. Let's get it out of the way. As Ricky likes to say, we got Montucky. Was with us all year. I never actually got the free beer. We'll have to get that in the off season. But you guys can find the Montucky Cold Snack Finder on their website, and that finds the beer near you. Good beer, support 8% of their profits go back to local causes. So kind of a cool deal. They also have some really cool merch up for sale there. Rick looks pretty good. Ricky looks pretty good in this.
That's a little hard.
I like to wear this one. So
That was before Rick got his stomach implant.
I have one ab. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, you know what I got told this week? I was
What
over my
happened?
accounts out in Bend, and I hadn't seen him in a couple months. And he goes, "Man, I haven't seen you around." I said, "Yeah, I had surgery last month." And I swear to God, he goes, "Oh, you hadn't had a dick to me?"
Yeah.
It's the second time I've ever heard that in my life. The first, obviously, is Detroit Rick. So I thought that was pretty funny.
I'm sitting out in the backyard, man, because Paula's in there on a conference call. I got 3 dogs. I don't want to be out barking. So I was going to get in the hot tub, sit in the hot tub and do the show, but I didn't want to turn all you fuckers on with this manly body.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that,
And
Rick.
I was hoping the reverse would happen because, my shit's like river's always cold in my world. Well, it doesn't help in the hot water either.
Fair enough.
So, guys,
Fair
what an emotional roller coaster Sunday was. I mean, with the games, what was on the line. Yeah, I was really, really pissed off about the outcome of the Rams game, only because the calls. I mean, we never want to talk about the calls, but can we take a minute and talk about a couple things that happened in that Seattle Rams game?
It's relevant. Yep.
That's Rick.
The first thing is that running the kicker. I did some research, and you'll be impressed with me because I actually did some research, and then I watched a couple.
This is not accurate. I've seen what Rick researches on the internet, and I don't know how accurate this is. So take this with a grain of salt.
Here's a definition of running to a kicker. But I can remember I'm from Taylor, so I really can't read either. But running the kicker is contacting the kicker's foot, contacting the foot of the kicker, even if the kicker is airborne when it occurs, or slides under the kicker, preventing him from returning both feet on the ground. Okay, when he was hit, both feet were on the ground. He was pushed into the kicker. And then when I watched some video today, get a chance to check out YouTube, Bad Calls. This guy breaks it down perfect. The kicker actually grabbed our guy and pulled him on top of him when he fell. Now, bad calls can change games. Bad calls happen all the time. It's the timing of them calls. At that time, what was it? It was 8:46 left in the fourth. They punted it. Rams would have the ball on a 35, 40-yard line with a chance to run the clock down, possibly get a field goal or score. But instead, now the Seahawks have the ball. They drive all the way down. They burn 6 minutes or like 3 minutes up in the clock. They kick a tying field goal. That's crucial. And then in overtime, that Ramsey. Okay, look at the whole play. Get a chance. Go back and look at that play again. First of all, DK Metcalf pushes him in front of Geno while Geno's running down the sideline. Ramsey goes out of bounds. There's literally 2 feet of distance between Geno and Ramsey. Geno's coming at him. Here's a 200-something pound big man charging at you. Of course,
we can all
Ramsey's
agree that was a bullshit call. I mean,
and here's the so okay, they make the call, but then DK turns around and sticks his fingers in the face mask, and there's no offsetting penalties, nothing called there. That was another crucial penalty that put them in field goal range to win the game. So, like the whole social media is blowing up all the Lions fans. We still get screwed when not even playing. But with that said, we had a great season.
Well, okay, Rick. So we talked about this before we went on, but the only way that we're never going to fix it. We need to make an obvious penalty challengeable. Now, we were talking about the XFL. They have an automatic review. I don't think it should be automatic. I think a penalty should be something that comes down from the top to say, if somebody challenges it, then they should be able to say this is challengeable or not challengeable. If it's challengeable, though, of course they're gonna. It's because there's something there, and they're probably gonna reverse it. So the only way we're ever gonna fix that is if we make penalties reviewable. Are they ever gonna do that? I don't think so. But.
No, the game would be too long, and you can't challenge everyone. The game would be hours and hours long. But I can't remember who said it. Maybe Neil, you remember. Someone's talking to us that the XFL or the USFL, whatever it is, they have someone up in the box who oversees the whole thing and calls down. Nope, that's not a penalty. Overturn that. They do it immediately. But you really can't. I guess you do make certain penalties reviewable or challengeable. I don't know. But crucial penalties. A referee can change that game, and I'm so tired of people saying, "Well, if you would have played the whole game, or if you would have done this, done that." An official can change the outcome. It's been proved. We know about it. The Saints game, that totally, that call in the end zone, it changes the whole game.
Neil.
But with that said, I'm excited about our season, though. Even though we didn't get in the playoffs, we were 1-6 at one time.
Let's not get ahead. Let's get Neil's opinion. I want to hear what Neil thinks of, because I honestly, I mean, we're pretty much on the same page. But what do you think, Neil? Is there anything we can do to fix it, or we just need to roll with it, or what?
I think that to an extent everything should be reviewable. Especially a penalty that's called a penalty. I would say that not situations where a penalty wasn't called, but if there is a penalty called on something, that should be something that is able to be reviewed. Because in the spirit of the game, they're expected to get it right, and whether it be in your favor or not in your favor, it's most important to the integrity of the game to get the right call, and whatever that takes, by whatever any means necessary. I think that they should explore the options to do that. So yeah, we're all kind of on the same page.
Yeah. All right. Before we get too far ahead of the game, let's hit on a couple things real quick.
My nephew. Say hi to Brandon. Hi, Brandon. I'm gonna say hi, Brandon.
I said hi to Brandon. I put it up earlier. Let's talk about just the Goff experiment is complete. We've been talking about it all year, and I mean, you guys are maybe you're not gonna be surprised, but
what do you have to say, Butler?
I guess I was a little hard on him. He had a fantastic season.
You said hard on.
And honestly, what was I expecting him to learn the offense in a year, 2 years? I mean, it takes a while. So I can see Goff coming back next year, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I thought overall he had a great season, especially the last 8 or 9 games. I mean, he was just lights out.
He really did have a great season. I think that, he was a giant part of the second half of that season being as successful as it was. He didn't make mistakes. He missed throws, but man, I know at one point, I'll just talk from the beginning of the season towards the end, just kind of across the board, coaching, nobody was safe. I wanted everybody gutted. I wanted everybody gone. It was just like, there's no excuse why this team should be this bad. And he was a part of that. And he definitely turned around and started playing good mistake-free football. And I think that a big part of that was that he got better protection from the offensive line as time went on. Those guys started playing together. They started gelling together a little bit and doing what they needed to do. We got a lot of really good help from the running backs establishing the running game as time went on. You had Jamal Williams, who ended up having a 1,000-yard season. The receivers did a better job of not better job of being healthy, but they got healthy. and then they did a good job of doing exactly what they're supposed to do, being where they were supposed to be. There's a lot of things that go into a quarterback's performance, and everybody doing what they're supposed to be doing when they're supposed to be doing it is a pretty major part of that. So it wasn't just him. I don't think that there was a lot of pieces to that puzzle that all fit together in the right way at the right time as we went down the stretch there. So
I think you're right. I mean, the Goff showed flashes of goof again this week with the duck throws, but at the same time it was cold. He had to get warmed up. Once he got warmed up, he had a good game. But yeah, we were hurt a lot of the season. A lot of the people were hurt. It took a year. You know, people talk about a rebuild every year, right? Rebuild, but rebuilds take a while. Honestly, I'm happy with where we're at 2 years into a rebuild. And I mean, Dan Campbell's not going anywhere.
No, he's not going anywhere.
From screaming.
And let's talk our
he's not
coaches.
going.
I hope we can get a couple more years out of our defense and offensive coordinators because
Good luck.
those guys, good man. I know, but you know, Ben Johnson might just think, hey, look, Campbell gave me a shot. Let me ride this out another year and let's see what we can do with this. And I'm hoping Glenn says the same thing. Glenn, I don't think he's going anywhere.
They could both go right now, and they're smart to go right now while everybody's high on them. They'll get paid good money.
Yeah.
But let's just say this: if they stay another season and we make a playoff run and get in the playoffs, that increases their value even more next year. And the way that team plays as a team, I don't see them leaving, and I'm hoping they don't leave.
Can we continue this conversation on the players too? Because today I read Kaminsky. He's like, please don't trade me. I want to be part of this. I want to stay here. There's players that are begging to stay now. They don't want to leave. There's players who are going to want to come here because of the chemistry and the attitudes of the players, and the fans are welcoming as hell. I mean, this is some great things happening. And like Alicia said, to hear all the positive comments. How many times you watching sports in the last 3 weeks? And the Lions have been, well, actually 5 weeks. Lions been in the conversation. You know, we didn't get any. I was so pissed off. I was mad as hell this last week because we didn't get any love from anybody. They're all like, oh, the Packers were 3-8. Now they're 8-8, going for the playoffs. We were 1-6. We're 8-8. We didn't get any true love until after we beat the Packers, and now everybody's saying, "Hey, whoa!"
We're gonna bring up some stats here pretty quick. In fact, I got one stat I want to bring up that you guys, I don't know, you guys can participate in letting me know where you think this stat's going to end up. So, how many times do you guys think Rick said penis or some version of penis throughout the year, including the Hard Knocks podcast?
Oh goodness, it's got to be triple digits.
That's bullshit.
What do you think, Ricky? How many times do you think you said it?
I don't know. I do like dicks.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. How many times
I do
you guys
like dicks.
think? 35, Alicia, 35.
Opening up a dicks in Federal Way, and I'm moving.
That's 35 is 2 a week. That is very, very, very light. Austin hit it. No, even though I hope that number is right.
That would be the best.
No, I would say that he probably averaged 6, 7, 8 a week, and then it's got to be in the 150 range, man.
Okay, you guys are going to be surprised.
If my co-host, if my two
he had a
co-hosts
couple weeks where he had some dry spells, and it was when he wasn't drinking. Plus, you got to remember he missed 2 podcasts.
I missed one.
We did the Game of Thrones draft for bye week, and then he was in Mexican jail after that second.
Okay, I'll back it off to 100. And how tall are you, Rick?
5'6" on a good day with hills.
5'6".
I put it down there, Neil. I already put it down there.
That's 66 inches. Is that what that is?
66 inches. Yes.
Okay, we'll cut that in half. I'll go with 100 and I'll go with what Alicia said, 133.
All right. Well, I put the answer up already. It's 92.
Ha! Coming up a little short there, Rick.
I talk about dick that much.
All right, let's talk season stats instead of Rick's penis stats now. First half of the season was a rough start. But if you look at the final stats, I mean, passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, those are the team leaders up top. I mean, Anzalone was all over the place. I mean, interceptions, Kirby Joseph had 4. A couple of them were almost all of them were against Green Bay, weren't they? And
I think 3 of them were, yeah.
And the Sun God, man, 1,100 yards, almost 1,200. What a great season for Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm a big fan.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah, and you brought up Fabio. I'm a little worried about him. I listened to his interview today too on the media day, and he wasn't sure if he's gonna play football anymore. The way he was talking, it kind of seemed like he's happy to be here and loved this year, but he kind of alluded a little bit to like when his last years are coming up and getting a little older and stuff. But he had a hell of a game, man. And that play where ballsy ass Green Bay wants to go for it on 4th and whatever at the 30.
Well, the defense, yeah. I mean, if you look at it here, I mean, Anzalone led with total. Deshaun Elliott had a good season. Rodriguez had a really quiet season, but was right up there. I mean, you got to talk Hutchinson and Houston. I mean, the last couple of weeks were huge, and then what Aurier, he had he was named a couple times. So
hang on, Alicia, my wife is on a conference call inside the house. I'm forced to sit outside in a freaking pop-up tent. But look, hang on. I have a fire pit. Why my camera's not? I got a fire pit over there. It's not working
because you're using the camera on the fucking computer.
Oh shit!
This is what we're doing. And you're not using the right microphone either.
I gotta get some out of the way.
It's up the camera like it's supposed to be showing us stuff.
I gotta get
I
some.
thought I was using this camera. I thought I was using this one.
You're not using the right camera or the right microphone, Rick.
Jesus Christ!
I'm using my microphone. It's on the snowball.
I want to get out of the way now. Neil was right about something. He was right on target with the offensive line this year. They provided fantastic coverage. Now he was a little wrong on the defense, but I'm not going to say that. He was right. So Neil, good job.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, wow. Mark this day down.
I picked a hell of a week to quit drinking. I'll tell you that right fucking now. No, the offensive line played lights out. It was a fantastic season. It started out with Sewell had a couple penalties, and I was just screaming at the TV for the first 4 or 5 weeks. But he leveled everything out, and Ragnow played hurt all year. I mean, fuck, it was great.
Yeah.
Yep. It absolutely
So,
was. I mean, I love the energy that the offensive line was playing with too. Sewell's that dude where I can't even count how many times he was downfield, like 20, 30 yards downfield blocking.
Yeah, he got penalized a couple of them. I know that.
No, it was really awesome to see how much energy that team played with as the season went on, especially after how the first half went. It was just like they just kept playing and playing and playing. I'm happy that we're keeping the nucleus. There's several guys that we're going to need to make decisions about bringing back. Do you have that?
I do.
Ready, willing, and able?
These are the guys who are going to hit the cap this year, I think, right? Cap hits.
Those are potential cap casualties. So I think we can absolutely say that Brockers is gone. I don't think he didn't do anything all season. Okwara is a bit of a difficult one, but it makes it a lot easier when you have Houston and Hutchison kind of stepping up there, and then you got Pascal also. I think Vaitai is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Harris could easily be gone also. So there's that one. Those are people that are under contract that we could part ways with to save money. We already are in a really good spot in terms of money. You have a link to the DSN article, right?
I didn't bring the link. I just did that deal, but I have it up. Do you need me to read something from it?
No, I was wanting you to post the link in the comments of the.
Oh, sorry. I'll see if I can get that done. Okay.
So those are guys that they could free up, but I think that we have. I was reading something where it said that we have like the 7th most off-season capital to work with this year in terms of money and draft picks. So they're a team that was very competitive this year, and if one card would have fallen a different direction, we would be playing next weekend. And now they get to go do it all again with more money next year.
Right.
Yep.
Better. I mean, we're in good shape, guys. The best shape we've been in a long time.
Any experience, 1 year into some of these rookies' belts. Imagine 2024-25, they're going to be talking about last year's draft picks. They're going to be talking about that draft that year.
Because that'll be the catalyst to the Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
A couple things. Let's do some housekeeping real quick. Thank you guys all for being part of our season. We see the same people on here every week, which is awesome. And we didn't do a podcast after the game because Rick and Neil were drinking all day and couldn't function. So we're kind of doing it in the middle of the week, and we're still seeing you guys, and we appreciate that. And DSN, Detroit Sports,
mad love, baby, mad love.
That. So thank you guys for that. One thing I want to thank real quick. I know we still got a little time, but I just want to get these thanks out of the way. Lori Fender did the logo for us this year. That's a brand new logo, and I think we mentioned early, but I want to say thank you to Lori, and of course Dale, her husband. But just for supporting her, she's gonna love that.
Have you?
No, thank you to Lori for doing that logo. That was really awesome. We really love it.
They moved to Indiana, didn't they?
Yeah. I don't know. I get them all the eyes mixed up over there. All
the eyes. Got Iowa and Indiana.
I don't know. There's
in
Idaho, Illinois. There's all sorts of eyes. What are you talking about? I don't. Well,
none of them rhyme.
I know you're limited in your Midwest culture, but
none of them rhyme. I mean, Indiana and Iowa. Yeah, how do you mistake that shit? Fucking peckerhead.
And yeah, so that's. I just want to say a couple things real quick, guys. And what do we want to talk about next? Rick, didn't you have something you want to talk about?
Well, I want to, one of them I want to talk about is Rex Ryan. He cracked me up, man. He called out Rodgers. That was freaking great, man. He was just talking about Rodgers, how showing no respect to Detroit. He got what he deserves. He goes, and he said he would not respect Rodgers till Rodgers shows Detroit some respect. He was out of line that, Detroit beat him earlier this year, and he still want to talk all this trash with no respect to Detroit. And listen, Rex Ryan was fired up on that shit too. It was good.
Yeah, he was.
Yep, good stuff. And then Green Bay. What was in Green Bay's freaking Gatorade jugs, man? Because they were ate up like a tomato soup sandwich. Some of the dumbass penalties. Douglas, what was Douglas doing?
So there's a couple things that it definitely.
Yeah, right.
A couple things that definitely helped us out there down the stretch. You had the penalty on 7. I can't remember what his name is, but what a dumbass. Pushing the medical staff guy, and that was the second time that he had been ejected this season for doing the same thing.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
And then you had Douglas just stroll out into the middle of the line. I've seen okay, your coach is calling a timeout, so you're just gonna walk through the line and go try to pick up the ball and stop it from being snapped. Why would you do that?
The only thing I can figure on that is he's gonna claim he didn't hear the whistle.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Nothing about that was normal or rational. It was
look at when you got a fucking Game of Thrones extra costume wearing fucking clown, vaccine denying idiot for your fucking quarterback. What do you think the rest of the team's going to be like? I mean, he's more focused on how famous Aaron Rodgers can be. How many? Look, you got Danica Patrick was a score. I'm not going to lie. All right. But I mean, come on. It's just he's a fucking idiot. And when you have that idiot leading your team, then you're going to be a bunch of fucking idiots. I mean, if Rick was in charge of this podcast, me and you would be idiots. Thank God he's not.
Well, you fuck. What the fuck? I'm speechless.
We are a comedy podcast. We're not a sports podcast. Even our sports opinions are our own and have nothing to do with anybody else and only what we think about shit when we're drunk.
Even after Douglas done that shit, 3 or 4 plays later, when the ref put the ball down, he ran over the center ball. He kept pointing, going the other way with the ball. I'm like, this guy's out of his mind. I have no idea what he's doing. And then, of course, the penalty, hitting the medical staff. But what they're not talking about, they totally missed, was the forearm to freaking Swift's head. Did you see the forearm? Right in his face mask. He walked up, just planted his forearm right in his side face mask and pushed him back down. I'm like, what are these guys doing, man?
Yeah, they started losing their composure a little bit as the game went on. They absolutely did, and it was beautiful to see. It was that same feeling that I got when we were in New York and we got to watch the New York fans leaving out the stadium early.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is what it looks like when people come to Detroit. They get to watch us do that. And So personally, I can honestly say baseball games I've left early, but football games I sit there till the game's over. I've never walked out early, no matter how bad it was. But it's nice being able to get inside other people's head to the point where they start losing their temper and making decisions like that, and then trying to play dirty. Like they were there, that hit to Swift's head, that forearm to Swift's head, that was dirty. That was completely
that was way dirty. And it wasn't even brought up. I mean, watching First Take, they brought up, they just briefly said, well, there was a forearm to Swift's head, but they called this one instead. They didn't even bring that up at all. I mean, what the hell? But real quick, so Matt was at the game. He said he was going to the game. He commented he was there.
Yeah.
How cool was it at the end of the game in Green Bay to have all the Lions fans in front, slapping high five to the players, and then Hutch doing the Lambeau leap, and just the fans all just excited to be in there. That must have been amazing.
Yeah, I think Austin nailed it. I mean, we all loved that the Lions fans stayed and they said, "Let's go Lions." Which, hey, I'm an anti-let's go guy, but that fit there. So I really enjoyed it. That was a great way. That was a really great way to end the season.
Yep. And
That
that's
was
why
like Super Bowl. I mean, and you guys were loud too. You guys were loud there. They were very loud there. You could hear them on TV, and it was almost like you couldn't tell sometimes which, like, because I'd get up and go talk to people and stuff during some parts of the game, and you hear the crowd start cheering and stuff, and it's like, who just did well? And it ended up being the Lions that were doing well, and the crowd was just being loud enough. But man, imagine that conversation that took place before that game. You knew minutes before that game started that they weren't making the playoffs.
Right.
No matter what happened in that game, they weren't making the playoffs. I would have loved to have been in that locker room when they were having that pregame speech and that pep talk before they went out there, because they came out playing like their asses were on fire. They made good decisions. They executed exactly what they needed to execute, and it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome to see how well they played together. It was like they were playing for each other. It was almost like they were recruiting. It was because and being a good team goes a long way when you're courting your free agents coming from other teams and stuff. Some guys chase checks, but some guys want rings, and you get some of those vets that are a little bit longer in the tooth. And man, if they want to go to a contender, Detroit's now a destination.
Austin has a point. I mean, you'd think it was a playoff game. Well, it was a fucking playoff game. I mean, we should have won all but 3 of those games this year. We should have beat Seattle. And it was our own fault. We lost to Seattle, and then we had Green Bay that beats. So it was just it was
the Eagles game. The Eagles game, we could have easily had the Eagles game, the Minnesota game. Those games were our games. We could have won those games. If we'd have had just one of those back. But you know what though? And today, listening, like I said, I watched some of YouTube and some of the press conferences, and Dan Campbell's was really good. I mean, the guy's so emotional. He was teary-eyed talking, but that dude's a beast. He's a beast. He's just, the players love him. And talking to him, he goes, things happen for a reason. He said, we didn't make it in the playoffs this year because things happen for a reason. He goes, there's a process, and we're in that process. We're gonna keep our standards, and we're gonna adjust what we need to adjust, and we'll fill our weaknesses. He said, but things happen for a reason. Then, of course, some stupid reporter says, well, what do you think the reason is? And Campbell looked at him and goes, you'll find out.
My favorite part about you, Rick, is when you talk in your own voice like you just did. That's my favorite. When you're trying to make fun of people that are dumb and you talk in your own voice. That's my favorite part. You don't know what you're talking about, Butler.
Shut the fuck up. I got a big old coconut. Shut up, bitch.
No, and it's funny looking at it's funny listening to it. It's funny looking at it because it's just like Rick, especially when you like quote people, what other people say, you still fuck it up. And it's absolutely hilarious when you do that. Because you're wearing the glasses, you look like you know what you're talking about. You could be reading off of your screen right now, but you choose not to.
Without looking at your shirt, Rick, what does it say?
What does what say? My shirt? Shut up, hippie.
Stand up and see your old shirt.
Rick's on the 4G down there in Tacoma.
All right,
my favorite president. He gave me 11% pay raise in '82. I wore this because Rogers is a modern day hippie.
Yeah.
So Rick, let's
You done
test
busting my
your
balls?
let's test
You
your
done busting my
football
balls,
acumen
Rick?
here a little bit, huh?
You done busting my balls?
We're taking you
Okay.
down more notches than you're already down, you short piece of fucking shit.
Who's all right? Since you did research and you did do a good job with the research earlier, I was thoroughly impressed. What free agent do you think should be the highest priority to bring back next year?
I don't know who our free agents are. I didn't do that research. Who's our free agents right now?
Do you have that, Butler, that you can pull up? I can tell you
have
right
the
now who my
cap
top
hit-
2 targets
cap
are.
hit free agents.
No, the tweet,
No, that's not the free agents.
the one that I sent you.
Oh yeah.
So Jamal Williams and John Kaminsky are probably my top 2 that we should
Oh.
bring back. I'm
Oh,
sorry, Rick. I
definitely,
said Shepard
definitely.
failure there.
Oh no, definitely. I didn't know Williams was a free agent. Oh, he's going to be.
I didn't know he was.
Yeah,
a
definitely
free
got to
agent.
bring Williams back. Kaminsky's got energy. He's got power. He's a badass, big ass dude. Definitely got to bring them both back. Do we bring them back? And what's on the trading block? I mean, what's out there for us? We got to bring Williams back. Williams is
thing about
motivator.
Jamal Williams, unlike me and Rick, is he lost a lot of weight this year. I mean, did you notice that towards the end of the season?
let me tell you about Rick real quick. Rick, I think I figured it out.
Neil, shut up.
I think I figured it out. You know how Rick tends to get really drunk and fall over and bust his face up? When I was looking at him on Sunday, I was like, I realize what you're doing. This is a self-preservation thing. He's becoming round so he doesn't fall as violently because he doesn't use his hands. He doesn't use his hands when he falls.
Right.
He just tips.
I
wish you could show that video. Rick, you're retired now. Can you please show that video? Please show the video.
I told him today when he got on, I go, how's retarded mint treating you? And he said, oh, good. And I said, you been drinking all day? He's like, no. And I go, your swollen face doesn't tell you that.
Were you in Vegas when you tripped?
I was working with the Air Force down in Vegas. We're down there doing red flag. And we had the night shift for the first 8 days of a 30-day rotation. And I couldn't go out and drink it all. So the first night we had off, we went downtown and we got really shit-faced. And I fell off a curb with my hands in my pocket and broke my fall with my face.
I tell you what, I saw the video.
When I was there last time, too, walking between you and your neighbor's place.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he does it all the time. He did it on his birthday at the BLT. He's gotten all busted up. But the video is priceless. It's I feel so bad because I know it's like laughing at. I'm not even gonna finish the sentence, but the video is priceless because he's standing there stumbling drunk. There's cars going by. It's late at night and stuff like that. And then it looks like this motherfucker just got hit with a taser and he just stiffens up and just tips over, boom, face first into the road. Right in the crosswalk.
And
my buddy didn't memo. We're busting Rick's balls, Alicia.
My
Don't
buddy
you
was
be
only
defending
recording
him.
because I looked funny rocking back and forth. He felt so bad because if he knew I was going to fall, he would have tried to catch me, but he didn't have any idea I was going to.
It was just.
And that is the Detroit Rick story of the year.
At the BLT, we were playing the Seahawks, and every time, and there was a 10 o'clock in the morning game, and every time someone scored, if the Seahawks scored, Clark was buying shots. If the Lions scored, I was buying shots. And then we were too drunk to leave. He picked me up and threw me over his shoulder and smacked my head into that post right in the middle of BLT. So that wasn't my fault.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about your birthday. I'm talking about your birthday when
Neil did. Neil put you over his shoulder.
I picked him up and ended up putting him into the truck later on.
Stronger than you look.
Damn right.
But Matt, you're Air Force. Hang on, time out. Look at Matt. Matt's Air Force. That's their fucking gloves. You see what Matt said?
What do you say?
He's Air Force.
Idiots.
No hands in pockets. He's right.
But Air Force always, that's their gloves.
That's okay. That's okay. They got issued extra stuff. So real quick on the free agent class that we have.
Yeah, let's get back to that.
I'll go through some of the bigger names and you guys just say yes or no. Do we bring back DJ Chark?
Hell
Yes.
yeah, man.
Jamal Williams?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Anzalone?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, this was the first year for him. Who?
Evan Brown.
Never heard of him.
He's the guy that did great last season backing up after Ragnow went down with injury.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Deshaun Elliott.
Yes.
I want to save one for very last. Isaiah Buggs.
How are you like that? No,
Yeah.
wait, Rick. How are you like that on Deshaun Elliott? I bring up the stats. He is second on the team in tackles.
Okay, then I'm gonna change my shit to up.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Sorry, Neil. Go ahead.
Isaiah Bugs.
Yes.
Dan Skipper.
I don't know who that is.
Well,
I say
he's got some
absolutely
good-
get Dan
yeah,
Skipper back.
He's kind of a motivator. He's in that huddle, and he's always running around, and he's on every play.
Hey, Dan Skipper, if you see this, I know you don't know who I am either, so we don't need to get some Twitter war going. It's not a big deal.
Okay, I got 3 names left. Kaminsky.
Yes.
Yeah, just because he wants to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 24, Oruwariye. Do we bring him back?
No, I'm done. I can't say his name, first of all.
I just said it.
That alone is enough to get rid of him.
Rick, do you want him back?
Well, that's a hard one because he's had some shiny moments, but he's also had 5 penalties in one game. So I don't think so.
Okay, and then last but not least, the soon-to-be hot topic of the offseason as training camp goes on, the backup quarterback. Do we bring back Sudfeld?
No.
So we do have draft capital. I agree with that. Probably not. We do have draft capital. We could. I don't think it's out of the question to draft a quarterback at some point this coming draft.
I think they're going to draft quarterback in the first 2 picks. I really think that. And the reason I think that is because they know as well as we do, we're not even sports broadcasting professionals. We're just a bunch of fucking idiots. They know better as well as we do that Goff is not the long-term solution. They need to get somebody in there, and Sudfeld is not the answer.
That's not what I thought you were going to say. That's not what I. That's
I'm still an advocate for bringing in someone from another team that has played a couple years. I mean, I'd even take a fucking what's that blonde kid that was drafted by Miami and went to wherever and sucked there in Carolina and.
We'll bring him in, but he sucked there and he sucked in Carolina.
I mean, look, I'll bring anybody. I mean, the only person I wouldn't bring in is Geno Smith. That guy's a little bitch. I'm
talking
sorry.
Josh Rosen?
Not
No.
Russell. Not
Who's
Russell.
the guy who had the hot the girlfriend at the draft that one of the guys talked about and got a bunch of shit for?
I don't
A
remember.
pretty boy in Miami 3 or 4 years ago.
Tannehill?
Yeah, Tannehill. I'd even take fucking Tannehill at this point.
God, you barely got any of the teams right. But
I got Miami right.
yeah.
I did see a joke on Facebook today from one of my Seattle buddies, and it is kind of funny, but we're not in it. It is kind of funny though. Said Russell and Aaron Rodgers walks into a bar. They're sitting down to watch Geno play in the playoffs. I'm thinking, oh fuck.
Geno Smith set records this year for Seattle.
Yeah, but he's still a trash pile, dude. I mean,
I'm just saying.
Well, he made some mistakes, but he got some shit done, dude.
did you see him on the sideline acting like big Mr. fucking big guy, screaming?
Well, he is a big guy.
Off, throwing his fucking helmet. He's a little bitch. Geno
I'm
Smith,
just saying.
I'll take you any day of the week. Any
Real
corner
quick.
in Detroit, any corner in Seattle, any corner in Oregon. Go fuck yourself.
Real quick, with zero input from us this time, I'm not even going to give names to steer the audience. We want to nominate, or I want them, the audience, to nominate the Matthew Morris Rookie of the Year for the Detroit Lions.
Matthew Morris Player of the Year, but it's going to be a rookie. So yeah, let's just do Matthew Morris Rookie of the Year. Thanks.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay. Let's do Player of the Year.
No, let's do Rookie of the Year. That easy. There you go. Yeah,
But I would
Rookie of the Year. And Alicia, just real quick, Russell Wilson. I'd take Russell Wilson.
No, I wouldn't.
We get him cheap. I would take Russell Wilson.
No.
You've seen the shit that guy's done over the years. Are you
I want
crazy?
to touch on what you said about.
Well, Russell Wilson's a scrambler, not a drop back quarterback, and that's why he's having such a hard time in Denver. He's not a drop back quarterback. Russell has to have time to jump back, run around back and forth. Russell's a great thrower. He proved himself here, but he's not a pocket quarterback. He's a scrambler.
Okay.
The majority of the big plays that Russell Wilson ever had were it was because he was scrambling, was designed to scramble, or it was a broken play, and those guys just did backyard football and ran around until they got open, and he found them.
And that's
So
the same thing
you're right on
Geno
the money.
Smith does, and that's why Geno Smith's been successful. I get it. But you can't teach what Russell Wilson does in scrambling and throwing the ball. You can teach him to stay in the pocket and do his reads.
Yeah. All right.
What a Alicia's
I have none
comment.
against that. I've enjoyed watching being stationed out here and living out here in Washington. I've enjoyed Russell Wilson watching him play ball. I mean, how many times was it 3rd and 27 and he's scrambling around for fucking throws up for 30 fucking yards and first down? I mean, over and over and over. I don't know what happened. He got to Denver, but it just fizzled out on that guy.
No, they haven't told him you need to stay in the pocket. He's so used to the let Russ cook thing where Pete Carroll's just letting him do whatever the fuck he wants because he makes stuff happen. He had the receivers. He doesn't know the receivers in Denver. He has route runners. So he doesn't have the people who can scramble and get open and make the things. I mean, that fucking – who's the guy that broke his – God damn it.
Lockett.
Well, Metcalf, and then you got the other kid.
Lockett.
I mean, that Lockett guy, I've never seen somebody
he's amazing.
open. I'd love to see his
Lockett's amazing, man. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine having Lockett on our team?
He's not happen. But in Denver, if they get one or two people like a Lockett or a Metcalf, and then they teach Russell Wilson to sit in the pocket, but I don't think he's going to be there next year. That's what I'm saying. We could get him cheap as fuck.
I agree with Alicia here that he would get his ass kicked in Detroit.
Yeah, he would get destroyed in Detroit.
I want to go back to Jared Goff, though, real quick, because I do think that we need to figure out something in terms of a backup, and I'd probably lean more towards either Rick touched on it, either a high draft pick or a proven vet, but not for the reason that you said, and not because I don't think that Goff is a long-term answer. Goff played good football, and he showed that he can play good football. Mm-hmm. I think that the reason that they should prioritize a good backup quarterback is because there is a steep drop-off in the skill level between him and Sudfeld or anybody else that they put behind him since he's been here. And if Goff goes down for any reason, Lions are fucked. And they need to have somebody that's good and capable waiting in the wings to be able to step in and do. I would actually pay money for a good backup quarterback this year. I think that they should prioritize that.
No, you're right. Now you're absolutely right. That if he gets hurt, that's when we need somebody that knows what they're doing, not Sudfeld or what the fuck guy's name is. So, Goff's the team MVP. I'll tell you, Joseph. When I was going to do the Matthew Morris Player of the Year, he was actually going to be my vote. But we went defense, which is fine. I'm okay with defense. But I don't know what award they could give him. The Alex Smith Award for pulling his shit together and making some stuff happen. I don't know. But Goff had a good season, man. I don't believe I'm sitting there saying this.
I know. Eat some crow there, bitch. Eat some crow. You're like Aaron Rodgers.
We've said time and time again, we're not actual sports analysts. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. So
right.
You know what's so cool about Sunday night is, so being retired Army, I have friends all over the place and friends from every freaking city. I literally got 10 to 15 texts from friends from other football teams watching this game. This was the most watched game in 6 years on Sunday Night Football. There's the largest crowd in 6 years to watch that game. I was getting texts from people saying, "Oh my God, I never watched the Lions play before. These guys are exciting. They're fun to watch. They're amazing. Their energy. They're full of piss and vinegar." It was cool to get those texts from people.
Yeah, maybe for you. It fucking sucked for me because it was all Seattle fans. So fuck them.
My phone was abused during that game. Yeah. I was getting texts and messages from all kinds of people. I got my hand shaken so many times yesterday at work from people like, "Thanks for getting us into the playoffs." It's like, yeah, just don't blow the opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, they will blow it. They will blow it. They're gonna blow it big.
Well,
and
you know what? The 49ers well, like I was telling Neil when we was watching the game, I said, well, if we would have gotten the playoffs, it's been a tall order. I don't know if we're quite ready yet for a team like 49ers, but we will be next year because we've got a year of experience under the belt. Those young kids, and we have a young team. We have some veterans, some influencing veterans, but we have some young kids that really stepped up. I mean, look what our rookies did. I mean, look at our rookies. They're in the conversation of Rookie of the Year. They broke all the rookie records, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the next 2 years are going to be crucial for the Lions. And I honestly, if we don't make the playoffs next year, what was it all for? I mean, these guys they're a solid team. Like I said, I don't see the coaches leaving. I'm hoping they don't. I think they're going to stick around for another year. I really do. Yeah. And even if they don't, good luck to them. But we've seen what they can do. We just need to utilize them. So. The Rookie of the Year looks like it's Hutchinson. I'm going to say Houston, but what do you guys think? I mean, Houston only played half the season, so.
Oh, you went and you threw that wrench in the gears. I would say off the total body of work, Hutchison. It's not Houston's fault that he didn't play all half of the games this season, but looking purely at the stats and the impact he had in the game, there were games where I'll say this. I will say Hutchison also, and if you look at the games where he didn't have statistical impacts, he was occupying bodies. And it wasn't just one person. A lot of times the teams that shut him down were putting two people on him during those games. So he was creating opportunities for his teammates to go out there and do things. He ended up with 9.5 sacks. He had 3 interceptions, a couple forced fumbles, fumble recovery. I mean, the guy was just all over the place.
Yeah.
So
you're right. Aiden Hutchinson, I mean, look at the stats now. Houston's the bottom there. He's got 8 sacks, but he only had 12 total tackles. 11 were solo.
That's insane.
Yeah. But you just said he had 7 assists. They were all in the last couple games. But then you look at Hutchinson, I mean, 17 games played, 34 solo tackles, 34. That's big. 18 assists, 52, 9.5 sacks, 3 interceptions. That's insane.
But still, looking at Houston though, and the efficiency at which he sacked people,
right?
When he touched people, what was it? 2/3 of those were sacks. If Hutchison would have sacked people at the same rate that Houston was sacking people, 2 out of every 3 touches, he would have ended up with like 36 sacks or some shit like that, which is insane. Like that amount of productivity. If Houston can even get close to touching that kind of productivity again next year, that's going to be one of the best drafted defensive end classes ever in the history of the league.
Neil, and I'm sorry, Rick. But Neil knows this. So I guess my question to you, Neil, is so when they moved him from the 3-point stance to a 2-point stance, they moved him around a little bit on his responsibilities on the end, and that was about right when they turned things around. Do you think he has that season he has without that? I mean, I think he had 1 interception and 1 sack before that. Am I wrong?
I think that we'll see what happens this offseason and how much benefit he gets from that full off season with the professional weight training staff and stuff like that after spending the time learning the game this year at this level and getting adjusted to the speed. If he bulks up, I could see him being somebody that maybe they put his hand in the ground a little bit more. But I don't care if he's standing backwards to the line when the ball snapped. If that is how he is most productive, let him do it. Don't try to force him to look any kind of way or stand any kind of way just because that's the stereotypical, prototypical thing that what they do. But just let him go out there and play football. I mean, if you watch the play where he got the interception last week, where he was standing right on the edge of the sideline, almost kind of like the decoy thing where maybe he was on the sidelines, but then he wasn't. Dude, he was just all over the place. His hands, he was all jittery. He was kind of dancing around a little bit. Just put him in a position to make a play. I don't care what he looks like.
You're right. Now let him be wherever he can get off the quickest and do what he's going to do. And
just like Rick.
And I was going to comment what Matt just said. Yeah, so he had 3 sacks in the second game. That was against Washington. Then he went kind of silent for a few games. And that's when they were doing the changing around a little bit and messing with his techniques and that. Right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So Alicia says something here about we need to keep continuity. 100% correct. Do you think that the team that we have right now, we're going to lose some people in free agent. We're going to get a few people. But do you think that the team chemistry, what do you think of the team chemistry right now and where it's going?
I think that the biggest thing that they need to do is continue to bring in role players and not focus on the personalities. Don't bring in somebody that's going to sell jerseys just because they're a personality.
We don't need
like don't touch Odell. Don't do anything. No cancers. Bring in good character role players that are going to go out there and they're going to do their job and be where they need to be when they need to be there. Because this team built that chemistry this year and they earned each other's trust. And like I don't use this phrase lightly, but like those guys, I feel like those guys right now would go to war with each other, and like zero questions asked. And it would be stupid for them to inject any kind of bad personality into that group that would tear that apart.
Right.
Well, they're going to have to inject something into it because people are going to leave and they're going to bring new people in. But we talk about it all the time, building culture and all that shit. Fatty Matty Patty tried to do it. Caldwell did a good job of it. I mean, they pulled the trigger on him a little too early, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I'm still bitter about that. I'm still bitter about that.
But I mean, Dan Campbell is creating a team. Not just a culture, but a team.
I do love Dan Campbell, man. I'll tell you. And again, I spent most of the. I'm retired and I have nothing to do now. I wake up in the morning and I say to myself, I ain't got no place to go. So I just find things to do. And today I watched a ton of the Lions interviews and the media day. And I'm telling you, every one of the players that he interviewed, every one of them were all just tooting Campbell's horn, how much they love playing for him. St. Brown's interview was amazing. That kid is
big fan.
Man, he's something else, man. He's
what a steal on that draft. He was one of the top receivers this league from a yards and catch perspective. And then I believe I saw he was also the number one rated blocking receiver.
Yeah, downfield.
Well, one thing I saw glimpses of Golden Tate.
It is crazy
when he caught the ball. He had that shoulder move and speed that Tate had. So I mean, you can't go wrong there. I mean,
speaking of speed, Jameson Williams would be a damn problem.
Yeah,
he almost outran
the ball. I mean,
no, he almost outran his own feet on that touchdown that got called back.
Yeah, it's a shame that one got called back. Was that the one that was hands to the face one?
Yeah, which was bullshit. But man, he was fast. He was stumbling and still outran everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's if they can get him going next year, I mean, and get him involved, he's gonna have plenty of time to get healthy. Yeah, it's gonna be, dude, our receiving core, DJ Shark.
Yeah, he's
good
exciting.
God,
man.
we're dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I love it that we've had receivers for a long time.
Yeah.
Lots of good receivers. Marvin Jones Jr., Golden Tate, obviously Megatron. I mean, we've had some really good luck getting good
Herman
receivers.
Moore, Johnny Morton. We've had some good receivers. Hey, so this story. Yeah, is it my turn? I see it up there.
It's your turn. You got Detroit Rick's story of the year.
This is about
Make it a good one, Rick. Don't let us down.
Well, check it out. So this is a long time ago. I was in the Army still, and I get a call from my wife that my brother just fucking cut off his toes off and shit. So my brother was cutting his grass, and he had a little hill in his backyard, and he was pulling the lawnmower back, and he tripped and pulled the lawnmower over his toes and cut off all of his freaking toes on his right foot. So his wife, he's in the backyard rolling around screaming, hollering. Wife comes out, she's freaking all out, grabs a baggie, puts the toes in a baggie with some ice. They run to the hospital. They sew all of his toes back on. He's got all his little piggies, and he thinks he's good to go. Gets home, a couple weeks goes by, he gets an infection in the middle three, and they cut the middle three back off. So I come home on leave, and we're hanging out, and we go to the beach, and he takes off his shoe, and he's got like a big toe and little toe. I'm like, dude, put your damn shoe back on. We can't pick up any chicks with no freaking toes. So so for Christmas, I got him a pair of flip-flops, and I sent him a roll of duct tape. And then the next year, I got him remember those socks that had toes in them? I got the middle three toes out and sewed it up, and he looked like fucking E.T. walking around, man. Big toe, little toe.
He could have done the catch with one butt and three toes, like Dan Campbell said.
Right.
Which St. Brown pulled off. St. Brown made that catch this year. That catch that he made with his butt cheek and his legs.
Angela
Oh,
said
yeah,
St.
that
Brown's
catch.
ass catch was the best.
That was a catch with his butt.
No, and even Khalif Raymond really stepped up and played a big role this year too. Not just on special teams, but as a receiver. So
You didn't like my story of the week?
Yeah, Raymond had a great year.
it was a great story of the week.
It was.
Right.
That was it. That was all. You were done, right, Rick?
I was done, but you didn't even laugh.
He performed some sort of like foot fetish porn or something. What else could there be?
I thought it was pretty creative to send him a fucking flip-flop with the fucking roll of duct tape.
And we laughed.
Okay.
I did laugh. I laughed. I remember laughing.
I got my victory cigar. I waited 2 days to smoke this. Of course, I have
That's
plenty more
good.
cigars too, but
Alicia want to know if it's a Cuban. Is it a Cuban, Rick?
yes, ma'am.
What else we got? We're about to wrap this up, boys and girls.
Who got closest on the preseason picks?
Oh,
Was it you,
when
Butler?
you say that.
Oh yeah,
9-8.
Butler. He
Nailed it.
changed this shit.
No, I did not. Go back and watch the fucking podcast. I don't give a shit.
Did you say
Detroit
9-8?
Rick was 10-7. You were close, Ricky, and
close.
Neil was still a little high. But honestly, we should have been 12-5. Maybe you should have been, 13-4. It was, dude.
Oh,
There was some.
Look who chimes in. The man Panamanian, Chris Clark.
Oh, this fucking bandwagon jumper.
Oh, he's been
Chris
a
Clark.
like.
What
He's
a
not-
joke.
I
Who was
gotta
he?
defend-
Wasn't he a Tampa Bay fan when he was a kid,
Oh
Rick?
fuck no! Chris has been a diehard. Chris is a diehard Seahawks fan. No, I gotta defend
Rick,
Chris
you're
on that.
missing the fucking game here.
What?
He's a bandwagon jumper. Jesus Christ. What am I doing?
No, I know that. I
Why
know
are
that
you
you said it earlier, Butler. I know that you said thank you earlier, kind of in the middle of the podcast. But I just want to take one more opportunity and say thank you to everybody for everybody up to this point that's had anything to do with this show, whether you called in or whether you showed up every week or helped design graphics or whatever it may have been. We ain't shit without you guys. So I just definitely wanted to say thank you for showing up every week from Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all the spots. And it's definitely been a great experience this season. And it was fun to get emotional and angry and happy and celebrate and call for coaches' jobs and stuff all throughout the season. And I just wanted to personally say thank you all. So
Yes, thank you. There's a emotional
Yeah,
roller
thank you,
coaster
guys.
ride this year. 1-6 to a
absolutely.
winning record. Love it, and thanks for the platform to talk shit about these two dickheads.
Yeah, I want to do thank Jeff and AJ and all of Detroit Sports Nation. They made some changes in the middle of the year, and they kind of let us stick around and finish what we started, which was a commitment that all three of us are, as much as we're a bunch of fucking idiots, we're pretty loyal idiots that like to finish something we started. So thanks to Detroit Sports Nation for letting us finish out the season. We don't know if we're going to be back next year, guys. The time will tell, or as me and my friend always say, Tim will tell. But time will tell if we'll be back next year. But in the meantime, check us out on our Facebook, on our YouTube, on our Twitter. And
if you want to increase the likelihood of us being back next year, share the shit out of this video.
Yeah, share it. Why not? Let's do the share thing, you guys. Who knows? Anything else we want to touch on, guys? Ricky, we kind of busting your balls pretty hard there towards the end. Anything else you want to throw out?
No, I'm used to it. Fuck you, bitches, you little punk ass bitches. And Alicia, maybe I'll see you at the Red Wings game. I'll shoot a message out to you if I go to the game this year. It's I think it's the 19th of February.
Alicia, how old are you? Rick, you know you're not allowed people.
Yeah, that's a lady.
Ask a lady.
He's not allowed.
Yeah,
No,
ask
I'm
a
just
lady
doing it for
that.
his safety. He's not allowed around people under the age of 16 years old. We know this.
Well, I'm sure she's older than 16,
Well,
and I'm married.
I don't
My
know,
wife-
man. There's lots of shit on the internet. I thought a chick was a chick and it was a dude. So give me a fucking break here.
Alicia, I am so sorry for Butler.
Over 40, yeah, that's what they say. They say till the cops show up at your door, Rick.
Butler, you always ask before you pay. That's the rule. Just remember.
Well, I tell you what. So Paula, when I first started going to Paula, she was 17. I was in Taylor. I had a Dodge Trademan 100 van, and I got in a van with Jolly Ranchers. She has a T-shirt that says "Give me the candy before I get in."
Exactly.
Tell too many people that story,
right?
right?
Federal watch list and on the registered.
Because that was
sex offender
1982.
in your area.
All right.
I'm kidding. Rick's not a sex offender.
Not a registered one.
Not a registered.
Yeah, Matt's on the Wings and Blues game.
Nice. Anything else, you guys, before we wrap it up? Any of the guys we decided on Hutchie got the Matthew Morris Rookie of the Year. That's a first thing. That's kind of cool.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I'm going with the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not go with the Bills? We even talk about that, which is good. I don't.
Yeah,
think
but
need to talk about that.
we were one long bomb away from going to overtime against those guys in Detroit.
Yeah.
That if I could
No,
have
that was-
any game back, it would be that game.
Talk about momentum. I think somebody talked about that earlier. Is the momentum on the Bills right now is pretty insane. I mean, you look at those two kickoff returns. There's no way they can't at least go. And even if they don't, it's still I don't know. They have a really good chance.
So for me, my player of the week, though, you know, went different on this. My player of the week is the fucking Lions team because they showed up in Green Bay. They had a mission. All my buddies here are like, "Oh man, Lions are just lay down. They ain't got nothing to play for." I'm like, dude, if you're saying that, you're not even a football fan, because the Lions, it's a division game. We hate the Packers. They kicked us around so many years. They will not lay down. They're going to come in, guns blazing.
Except for the one Minnesota game, we swept the division.
Yep.
I mean, that's insane.
We lost one division game.
The North runs through Detroit now
by 3 points. Think about
North
that.
runs through Detroit now.
Oh yeah. All right, guys.
What are you thinking of? Shit, Butler? You farting? What was that?
What?
You lifted. What the fuck you doing, Butler?
I didn't lift nothing. I'm moving around. I'm old and my fucking back hurts. Go fuck yourself. Hey, again, thanks to Detroit Sports Nation. Thanks to you guys for watching all year. We appreciate it, and hope to see you again down the road. Until then, for the sign off for Rain City Roar, I am Butler.
I'm Neil.
Love you, bitches. Been fun, baby. Peace out.